Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Wednesday, April 16th. We have all you need to know about a school shooting threat at Stay High, as well as more on the Board of Trustee elections.
We also have updates on an arrest near United Healthcare, along with entertainment, sports, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Reehl.
And I'm Brooke Bilski. Increased security measures are now in place at State College Area High School after a resident reported a planned school shooting. Former State College resident Braden Phillips planned the school shooting with an unnamed juvenile, which would occur Monday, April 21st, just one day after the 26th anniversary of the Columbine High School shooting. State College police say Phillips planned to use guns and explosives during a high-traffic morning period. The former student of Stay High stated in the affidavit that the school did not serve his educational needs and failed him. State College police ask anyone with information related to the investigation to contact them.
A man was arrested at the Mount Nittany Medical Center after attempting to rape a nurse. Connor Patterson made lewd statements to the staff before grabbing a nurse by her hair. 2 staff members intervened and were injured in the process. Patterson is now facing felony counts of attempted rape and assault. He also faces misdemeanor counts of indecent assault and disorderly conduct. He is being held at a correctional facility and his hearing took place earlier today.
As Penn State's Board of Trustee elections quickly approach, a Centre County judge has announced his refusal to put a current trustee on the ballot. A subcommittee of the university's board views current trustee Barry Fenchek ineligible to run for re-election. Fenchek argues that the bylaws of the subcommittee violate Pennsylvania law. Though Fenchek is unable to seek re-election, he will still be able to run for this position again in the future. Alumni voting in the upcoming election will also be able to write in Fenchek's name. However, no determination has been made on whether or not he can serve on the board. The university declared Fenchek a, quote, internet troll, as he has a history of posting inappropriate comments on his social media platforms. Voting will begin on April 21st and close May 8th.
Penn State University hosted the Flourish Fair yesterday at the Hub. The event provided opportunities for students to reduce stress and take part in mindfulness practices. A variety of activity stations were set up to get students to learn information and perform relaxing activities. Students could learn about stress management, sleep health, emotional well-being, and more. The event was hosted by Student Affairs and the College of Health and Human Development. Now, what can students expect outside this week? Student meteorologist Emmett Ricker is live in the studio with this week's forecast. Emmett.
Thanks, Lauren. So starting off with Beaver Stadium, I know we've had a very cloudy day, a very windy day, and it's more of the same right now, really. But our conditions, we've got light at the end of this tunnel with 41 degrees right now, but it feels like 34 due to these 13-mile-per-hour winds. But when I say light at the end of the tunnel, I mean a warmer trend is ahead of us with warmth coming in after Easter and sticking around for much of the time to come. But before that, we do have a nice little hiccup. Maybe Friday night into Saturday, we can expect some showers and a possible thunderstorm as well. And then finally, we do have these sunnier skies remaining with us after this warmer trend and this nice little hiccup. But starting off with our current area temperatures, we can see much of the Commonwealth all sitting around the same general temperature as us with 41 right now, 40s as we work our way towards the west, and much of the same as we work our way towards the east. But if we take a much larger view, we can see this nice little area of warmth all down in the Midwest, and that's due to some high pressure that's situated over this area, and that's going to be coming our way pretty soon here. But right now we can see this nice little dip, and that's where all the blue is coming in. That's where all these colder temperatures are coming in, and that's due to an upper level trough. And this high pressure is going to push that out and bring with it some warmer temperatures, as we mentioned. But today's temperatures have been pretty anomalous due to all of our high winds, but we're minus 18, and practically the entire Commonwealth, all minus double digits from their usual. And, that's all due to our winds. We've had pretty high winds today. Earlier, it was about 21 mile per hour winds. And right now, as we mentioned earlier, we've got 13 mile per hour winds, 15 over in Pittsburgh, and then 24 down there in Philly. So very windy day. I'm sure it's not the best to be out right now. But with our radar right now, we can see just some very high, thin clouds, as you saw from that live cam earlier on. But that's not going to remain for too much longer. Like I said, we've got some high pressure coming in, and that's going to bring with it clear skies and cooler or warmer temperatures, but after that nice little hiccup. So right now, or into the night, you can see some clearing skies. Clouds are going to move out, and then we're going to be left behind with sunny skies tomorrow. And that'll remain throughout much of tomorrow, but as the night rolls in, so do the clouds for Friday. And as Friday rolls around, we will start to see some bands of clouds rolling in. And it's going to be some thin clouds, it's going to be some wispy clouds, so going to be thicker during some periods. But as the night rolls in, once again, rain's going to start to come in, and Saturday is looking like it's going to be a bit of a wet one. But with that wetness, we do get some warmer temperatures. But, those clouds are going to remain. Sunday, we will have clouds. Monday, rainy as can be. It's going to remain like that all of Monday, but Tuesday is looking like it's going to clear back up and start for our clear skies that I mentioned earlier on. For our next 6 to 10 days, we can expect these warmer temperatures to remain, and much of the eastern seaboard is going to expect a lot higher than average temperatures, which is great to see for this springtime, and as we get closer to May, so do these warmer temperatures. For tonight, we can expect 33 degrees with cloudy skies and frost possible, but as that high pressure moves in, those clouds are going to start to decrease as we go along. But for tomorrow, as I said, high pressure, 58 degrees, sunny skies, and the winds are going to be very light, and that's going to remain for Friday. Those clouds are going to start to build back in. Then Saturday, like I said, showers with possible thunderstorms, then clouds, rain, and then sunshine will return at the end of the week with temperatures getting back into the 60s, building for a nice end to April.
Thanks, Emmett. Now Olivia Swigart is live in the studio with details on a Survivor art installation. Olivia.
Thanks, Lauren. Last week, the new and improved Gender Equity Center displayed a meaningful exhibit for the public. Let's check it out. On Friday afternoon, a special art exhibit was on display at the Hub Robinson Center at Penn State University. I'm Olivia Swigart with PSN News here at the What Were You Wearing art installation at the Hub. The clothing pieces on display were recreations of clothing worn during acts of sexual violence and assault. Members of the Gender Equity Center were available during this time to provide students with resources that they needed, but also to connect with students on a deeper level. But recently, the Gender Equity Center has received a new name.
We just changed the name to the Our Voice Center because we just feel like it's more inclusive of everything that we do. So it stands for relationship violence, outreach, intervention, and community education. So that's basically what our office does.
Sophia Mills was the brains behind the operation. She took a moment to talk about what the installation was all about and what message she wants the audience to walk away with.
We host it every April during Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month, and really the biggest goal is to dispel any kind of myths, misconceptions around rape myths, victim blaming, and just trying to create a more inclusive, safer culture here on campus. So I really hope that students and really anyone who's viewing this exhibit take away moments of introspection, that they feel empowered, they feel seen, they feel valued by this work. I think this exhibit is one of our most powerful exhibits because it is such a visual reminder, especially being in a really prominent location, like the entrance of the Hub, right? Mm-hmm. So I really hope that students feel, really, really moved by this exhibit and take away that clothing does not equal consent.
All services through Our Voice are free and confidential. For more information, visit studentaffairs.psu.edu/r-voice. Now over to Hannah George with the latest in sports.
Hannah George with your sports update. Penn State's Ryan Merck is stacking up awards as he earns another Defensive Player of the Week title. The libero was honored for the third time this season after two big 5-set wins against George Mason. He posted double-digit digs in both matches, 14 on Friday and 12 on Saturday, averaging 2.6 digs per set. Merck has now won the award 4 times in his college career. The Nittany Lions have collected 6 Ivy honors this season, 4 on defense and 2 on offense. Penn State will host Princeton this weekend in a crucial 2-match series. If the Nittany Lions win both games, they'll host the EIVA tournament for the 5th year in a row. The NBA postseason just got a little more blue and white. 3 former Penn State basketball stars, Jalen Pickett, Lamar Stevens, and Seth Lundy, are set to compete on basketball's biggest stage. Pickett, now with the Denver Nuggets, recently earned his first starts and even recorded a triple-double. Stevens, playing for the Memphis Grizzlies, scored 31 points in the team's final regular season game. Lundy is with the Los Angeles Clippers, working his way back from injury after joining on a 2-way deal. Pickett and Lundy will face off when the Nuggets and Clippers meet in the first round this weekend. Stevens and the Grizzlies began play-in action against the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday night. Travis Hunter says if he can't play both ways in the NFL, he'd rather quit football altogether. The Colorado Star told CBS Sports that no team has pushed back on his goal to play offense and defense. But if they did, he said it would be game over. Hunter dominated as both a wide receiver and cornerback, winning the Heisman Trophy and several other major awards in 2024. He racked up over 1,100 receiving yards and 4 interceptions, playing more than 1,500 snaps last season alone. NFL scouts say he's a rare talent, with the Browns even calling him a unicorn who can excel at both positions. Hunter says he's confident, competitive, and ready to do whatever it takes, as long as he can stay on both sides of the ball. The Pittsburgh Pirates made history Monday night with a battery that was number 1. Paul Skeens and Henry Davis became the first pitcher and catcher duo in MLB history who were both number 1 overall picks. Skeens, drafted in 2023, threw 6 strong innings and struck out 6 batters in a 10-3 win over the Nationals. Davis, the top pick from 2021, took over after an early injury to the starting catcher, Endy Rodriguez, and held his own behind the plate. He also singled in his first at-bat and worked in sync with Skeens to get the win. The Pirates snapped a 3-game losing streak behind big hits from O'Neal Cruz, Ke'Bryan Hayes, and Brian Reynolds. With the starting catcher expected to hit the injured list, Davis may have earned himself more time in the spotlight. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Jasenia Marrero has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jasenia Marrero with your entertainment update. If you're looking for plans this upcoming Good Friday, ANOM Ministries invites locals to participate in their Stations of the Cross retreat at Bethany Retreat Center in Frenchville, Pennsylvania, this upcoming Friday, April 18th. This free one-day retreat offers 2 experiences: an outdoor pilgrimage along the Stations of the Cross Trail or an indoor reflection with prayers and readings. The retreat allows for a deep spiritual reflection on the passion and death of Jesus Christ. Pre-registration is required, and you can sign up through their website at www.anomministries.com/stationscross. The House versus NCAA settlement is capable of significantly transforming college athletics by permitting universities to directly compensate athletes pending final approval. A $20.5 million revenue sharing initiative is slated to commence in the upcoming seasons, prompting many college football programs to recruit personnel to oversee these funds. Here at Penn State, Aeneas Hawkins has been appointed as Assistant Director of Player Advancement and Revenue Sharing Strategy to assume this responsibility. The settlement also introduced roster limits, capping football teams at 105 players, which may lead to reduced roster sizes in various sports. While this change aims to enhance financial stability, it could result in an increased competition for roster spots and scholarships, particularly affecting athletes in non-revenue sports. Former LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacy recently passed away in what appears to be a suicide. In his final season at LSU, he recorded 866 receiving yards and led the SEC with 9 receiving touchdowns. During a police chase, Lacy crashed his vehicle, and when officers attempted to remove him from the car, they found him with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Lacy's father posted on Facebook, "Mental health is real. Don't ignore the signs, even if they may seem small." Lacy was under investigation in a connection with a hit-and-run accident that occurred in Louisiana in December. He was only 24 years old. In late March, rapper Real Boston Richie, or Jalen Foster, was accused of domestic violence by his ex-girlfriend, 19-year-old Tatiana Chanel. He now faces at least 1 count of felony family violence with a warrant issued for his arrest. On April 10th, Chanel broke her silence, calling the ordeal a deeply personal and painful situation and expressing her stance against domestic violence, while Richie appeared to deny allegations on social media and promoted his new upcoming album, Public Housing 3, writing, "The real ones know." The case is currently under investigation, and Richie is yet to be taken in custody.
That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, Evan Halflin will be speaking with Shamak Arguel, a social media influencer and world records holder. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Day in the Life of a Penn State Student, PSN News Edition. I'm Evan Halfin, and with me tonight is Shamak Agarwal, a social media influencer and world records holder for his sketches, known for his day in the life content. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, Shamak.
Yeah, thank you.
To start things off, can you tell me what's your major and what year are you?
I'm a computer science major in Penn State, and this is my sophomore year right now.
Gotcha. And can you tell me a little bit about your honorary doctorate in art?
So when I was like 16-year-old, so I applied for a lot of world records, and at that point my parents encouraged me to apply for honorary doctorate, which seems to be very impossible, because if we see that, it's like one of the distinction which people don't get it even after studying a lot. But because of my recognition of my thing and my parents encouraged me, I applied for it, and by the God grace, I was able to achieve it. So I got that in 2021.
That's so awesome. That's like really cool.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to move across the country, or across the world, and come to Penn State?
Me, so my mom and dad, they every time wanted me to learn something new and to find in globalization, because right now in a world we say globalization is important, and if I was in India I cannot get that, so that's the reason they wanted me to explore the world and get to know more things about it.
And how's your adjustment been so far?
Me, my adjustment is pretty good, like because it's already 1.5 years in US, so I feel like there are a lot of people who came in my life, they gave me a lot of learning, so maybe that's why I'm able to understand and adjust with it very quietly.
And what motivated you to start posting content consistently on social media, and how did you navigate that rapid success?
For me, there are a lot of big creators I know who had posting the content, but the thing was there was no one who was posting and showing Penn State and actual and Indian life in US. So I wanted to show them the other peers as well as the people who are in US in Penn State, that how does Penn State look like, and also how do you like experience an Indian life in USA. That's what made me start that.
And can you tell me a little bit about your various partnerships, collaborations across campus and State College?
For me, till now, I have collaborated with a lot of big creators, including one of the famous, which people all know, Penn State Barstool account. And there are very big collaborations coming in. So, like, I don't know if you know Jersey Joe. He is going to collab with me. Brooke, he is going to collab with me. So, some big collaborations is coming in.
Awesome. And can you tell me a little bit about, I know you partner with like Mega Millions sometimes, Champs, some local businesses. Can you tell me about that a little bit?
So I am not partnering with them, I'm just doing a collaboration with them. So I try to make, I don't make any kind of a money. I try to promote local businesses, because people don't go to local businesses, instead they go to big brands and franchises, and I want to promote local businesses. That's the reason I go to them and I like, can I ask you for a collaboration? So that's why we collab, and we want to encourage our local people, State College people, instead of going to the big brands, go to the local franchises and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that. And how long have you been sketching for, and what inspired you to continue to do that over the years?
For me, I'm sketching from at least last 11 years. So when I was in second grade, I started sketching at that point. My mom used to encourage me. I used to go to the sketching classes, and that's when I started my sketching. And by the way, I did 3-4 exhibitions where I sold my paintings in India, and it was one of the successful exhibitions I had before.
That's so awesome. And kind of going off of that, would you be able to walk me through how you won 7 different world records in the field of fine arts with your sketches, and all before being named the best sketching artist in India and earning the Bal Ratna Award?
So for me, it was not that easy. So first of all, like in India, they try to encourage a lot of people. So there was an Indian book where Indian records used to get registered. It's called India Book of Records. So I was looking at a lot of things, and I found out that there are some, like sketching is a part where people have not yet aced the things. So I thought of doing something. So I started putting my work on, because I said I'm working since last 11 years. So I applied to the India Book of Record. I did the award, and then later on, because I got awarded for India Book of Record, that encouraged me to apply for world records, and I was able to ace that as well.
Gotcha. And what was it like teaching thousands of students how to sketch through your free classes?
Yes. So in 2021 and 2022, I taught over more than 3,000 to 4,000 students for free of cost. So I take a course on mine, like saying like, okay, I'm able to do sketching, I'm able to do these things. What about the people who are not from a good socio-economic background? They need to learn something, because anywhere you go, people will give you the basic knowledge and education, but they will not give you the extracurricular activities. So that's the reason I wanted to take that in little beyond. So people who are disabled, who cannot go to schools, I gave them online education for free. And the people who can not afford, don't even have phone, I gave them a physical education where I went to their places and give them the free workshops in schools and stuff like that.
And that's such an important thing to pursue too, especially the arts. It's such an important time to do that. And kind of circling back to your world records, after doing some digging, I kind of learned that one of your world records in the Book of World Records is for completing a graphite sketch in under 30 minutes. Were you able to tell me what was going on through your head, how you're able to achieve such a milestone?
So that was one of the most difficult thing I've achieved till now. And even now, I've tried several times, I'm not able to achieve that record. So I made around, I remember over 1,000 sketches I made in 1 month, just trying that thing so that I can make faster and faster. And I was able to complete, because in world records, the adjurers, the judge comes to your house, they judge you in life of them. That was the most difficult task. And I made the sketch, and it was 23 or 24 minutes I made a sketch in.
Wow, that's so impressive.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have tonight. Thank you so much for coming in, Shamak. Really appreciate it. Stick around, because coming up next, Brooke and Lauren will have the latest news from across the nation.
A man is now facing charges after setting fire to Governor Josh Shapiro's mansion. 38-year-old Colby Balmer was arrested on Sunday after turning himself into police. Balmer climbed an iron security fence and allegedly broke into the southern wing, where he started a fire with a homemade incendiary device. The fire left a significant amount of damage, estimated to be worth millions of dollars. The night before, Governor Josh Shapiro and family were celebrating the Jewish holiday of Passover. It is unknown if his political or religious beliefs were a motive for the attack, and investigations are still ongoing.
An intruder was arrested near the United Healthcare headquarters after allegedly threatening violence. This incident comes months after the company's CEO was killed. The man reportedly contacted the FBI's field office in Minneapolis, where they made contact with the intruder over the phone. They successfully were able to get the man to surrender after an hour. Authorities believe that the incident is not related to the murder of Brian Thompson back in December.
Harvard University is currently facing financial holds of more than $2.2 billion. This hold comes after the Trump administration's call for, quote, government and leadership reforms, as well as changes to admission policies. In a letter to Harvard's president, Trump's administration also urges the university to stop recognizing student organizations associated with protest. The Ivy League school becomes the 7th to be targeted by the Trump administration, joining others such as Columbia, Princeton, and Cornell. On Monday, Harvard President Alan Garber said that they would defy these demands of limiting activism on campus.
A Wisconsin clerk has quit following investigations into miscounting ballots back in November. Authorities believe that Maribeth Witzel-Beal failed to count nearly 200 absentee ballots. While the ballots would not have affected the outcome of the election, 4 of the voters whose ballots weren't counted have filed lawsuits against her. The filed claims are over $170,000 each. There's currently a new interim city clerk who took over. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.